In today's training, I'm going to teach you how to blot an ACH and Fed Wire transaction into Atlas's deposit blotter. We have created this ACH and Fed Wire transaction deposit process to somewhat replace the deposit instruction form, meaning what I'm going to walk you through today replaces the need for a physical form. So anytime you have those ACHs or Fed Wires where you don't have that physical document, instead of filling out the deposit instruction form, you can now go directly into Atlas to the deposit blotter to blot that ACH or Fed Wire transaction. To do so, once you log into Atlas, you're going to want to find the deposits button in this blue line. Once you click it, you're taken to the deposit blotter. To actually make a deposit blotter for an ACH or Fed Wire, we will go to the Add Deposit Blotter button. Once we click that button, we're automatically getting check as an option, but we want to click the menu so that we can select ACH and press Next. So now I just need to fill out some basic information about my ACH transaction. So my client, I'll fill out my advisor, my ACH amount. We do not have to put any punctuation. Atlas is going to do that for us. The date that transaction was received, as well as the source of funds. So if you have a checking or a savings account, you'd want to select earned income. Otherwise, we have some other options for you. I have two payable to boxes to fill out. One is a search bar and one is just a text box. The reason we have two is sometimes you can't find the company you need in this search box, so it lets you write whatever you want here. However, in our case, this is an ACH transaction through Pershing. So I'm going to go ahead and find Pershing in my list, and now I just have a couple more boxes. It's asking for an account number, so if you have that, it's great to input it, and then we have general notes. So if you want to leave notes for us or for yourself, you can do that here. My last question is this a direct business deposit? This is for Pershing, so I'm going to select no. I'm going to click my consent of Reg BI and press Next. As talked about before, this is an ACH transaction, so I do not have a physical check or a physical form to show this bank-to-bank account type of transaction. As noted here, I am not required to upload anything. This submission itself is documenting that transaction, so I don't have to do anything here. I can press Next, and obviously I didn't upload anything, so I have no file names to review. So now I can press Finish. Once I click Finish, I'm taken back to the deposit blotter, and if I want to see that ACH transaction I just blotted, I can click my menu up here and select ACH deposits. And you can see here at the very bottom the ACH transaction I just blotted for Johnny. So now, say I have a Fed Wire transaction to blot for him as well. Super easy. We just want to go back to the Add Deposit Blotter button. We're again going to get that same first menu where check is selected, but I can click the menu to change it to Fed Wire. Once I press Next, I'm going to get pretty much the same exact questions I got on the ACH blotter portion. So I'm just going to go through and find all of my client and advisor information. Again, for the Fed Wire amount, no punctuation needed. Atlas will do that for you. The date this was received. Source of funds is going to be earned income. So if you have checking or savings, you'd want to select that. We have these payable to boxes. This first one is a search box. Second one is a text field. So if you can't find your company, you can write it here. In our case, this is a Fed Wire through Schwab, so I can go ahead and select Schwab. Again, if I have my account number, I can go ahead and provide that here. It is not required, but it's always something good to provide if you have it. And same thing with the notes. More just kind of a general information for us or for you. And this last question, is this a direct business deposit? No, it's for Schwab. But if this was for a mutual fund, variable annuity company, something like that, and I selected yes, this is just asking for some more fund information just to show you what it looks like. So if you have that for those direct business companies, you select it there. But in this case, I don't have to do anything because it's Schwab. So I'm going to press no. I'm going to click my consent of Reg BI and press Next. And just like for my ACH transaction, I did not have any paperwork for this Fed Wire. It was a bank-to-bank kind of thing. There was no documents, so I had nothing to upload. So as per this, I'm not required to upload anything. This submission is taking place of that, so I don't have to review any file names, and I can finish this out. If I wanted to look at that Fed Wire transaction in the deposit blotter, just like for my ACHs, I want to click my menu and then click Fed Wire deposits, and I can see that one I just made. Again, the whole point of this process is so that you guys don't have to fill out the deposit instruction form. These blotter submissions are taking place of that form, so that's why you're not required to upload anything. The biggest thing to remember is for specifically recurring transactions, you only have to blot those when they are initially initiated. Any other recurring transactions after that, you do not have to blot. The only time you'd have to make another blotter for a recurring transaction is if that transaction amount changes. So if you've been doing $200 for a year and then this next year you want to bump it up to $300, we need you to blot that $300 change into the deposit blotter. If you have any questions on this process, please email atlas@harborinv.com. Otherwise, thank you for listening.